Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Sunday to you all. Hopefully, your weekend is going brilliantly. Or if you're watching this at any point in the week, hopefully, having a great day nonetheless. I took yesterday off because I was not feeling very well. Thought I came down with a little bit of a stomach bug, so much so that I couldn't really sit down for too long without feeling a little bit queasy. Feel a little bit better today, so we're gonna jump back on board what we were supposed to do yesterday. And that is, of course, yesterday was Saturday, and that means one thing. OST Saturdays, of course, episode 18 of season 2 of OST Saturday, covering some of the OST that dropped over the course of the past 7 days or so. And interesting spread this week. We didn't actually have a whole lot. There were a few that very much interested me. We get to jump on board with some specific members from groups that I don't think we've had OSTs for, which is always very exciting indeed. But on the docket today, we've got a little bit of Miss BIBI one time. Taehyun partnering up with Japanese singer actor Yamashita Tomohisa for a Japanese drama, which I don't know if that's gonna get cut or not, thanks to copyright stuff. We'll see. We'll figure that out when we get there. A little bit of Junhyeon from TIOT has an OST out, and Yeyoung of Geenius, who debuted right at the turn of this year, has a solo OST out, which is always very exciting indeed. I believe it's their first OST. Just out of all the Geenius members in general, it's their first OST since debuting, and that's always very exciting indeed. So, those 4 songs today on episode 18. And we'll be doing a little catch-up episode from the stuff that we dropped during March. So that's got a little bit like Nizu, we've got Stray Kids, we've got 10 centimeter, we got a little bit of Infinite. Keep your eyes peeled for that if it isn't out already. But in the meantime, let's get started with this week's block, shall we? Here we go! I'm hoping that we'll be okay today, but, well, that's both for the YouTube side of things and for me side of things. I've stocked up on, like, electrolyte drinks and stuff like that, just so I don't really kill my body this week, but if I seem a little bit more lower energy than usual, that's why I'm trying to keep my body under control a little bit. So, without further ado, let's get started. First song, Miss BIBI. The song Mom's Diary for Come Travel With Me, Mom. I don't actually know what show this is, but, well, I don't think I've listened to BIBI on the channel before on her own, now that I think about it, which is always kind of exciting, because I know what BIBI is capable of musically, and the fact that I've never listened to her sing on the channel, like, alone, or at least to my knowledge, is kind of cool. The fact that we get it in an OST setting as well, I think is going to be really interesting indeed, because she's a very flexible artist. But let's check out what the song is like. Here we go.
엄마 하고 부르는 날에 난 다 잊어버렸단다. 철없던 나이도 꿈 많던 나이도 꽃다운 나이 반납하고 여보 소리 듣던 날 끄떡없을 두 손과 눈이 부신 미래로 가.
It's kind of nursery rhyme-esque, isn't it? And it's in 3 too.
까만 눈엔 내가 있고 닮은 눈엔 당신이 말을 하지 않아도 우리는 알고 있네. 고생했단 한마디에 밀린 마음 흘러가. 어느새 우리도 훌쩍 커버렸구나.
I'll explain this later, but compositionally, this is a very powerful way to do a song.
잊어버렸단다. 눈물 짓던 날들도 내 이름도 어느덧 머리맡에 재어두던
a pretty piano roll there.
처음 너를 만난 날 내 나이를 넘어간다.
Really cool that both BIBI and the pianist is mic'd up very close to the root of sounds. You hear everything. Like you can hear the hammers and the pedals actuating in the piano, but you can also hear BIBI's voice and all the, like, whenever she has to take a breath or whenever she's using more breath to let out a longer held note, you feel everything just because it's so mic'd up close to the source, and that's really cool. But for me, I mentioned earlier briefly that this is compositionally the most powerful way you can do a song. For me, I've always found that whenever you've got kind of a more slower emotional song, it doesn't have to be like a ballad per se, but the rawest and truest way of portraying what the message of the song is to have one vocalist with one acoustic instrument, and that's it. Because it makes it feel like the two parts are played by one and the same person. And well, I don't think that's the case in actuality. The overall final product of it makes it seem like that. And because of it, it feels like the emotion is being portrayed from both directions, and it's all from the same source. So to have a song like this that does have a little bit of a kind of nursery rhyme-esque feel to it, it's got a little bit of a playful hop, skip, and a jump to its beat, but it's not an inherently bright song either. And to just kind of balance those two together with a song that is so soft to the ears, because everything is so gentle and so closely mic'd up, that it feels more comforting because of it. It's not meant to have a big, bold impact. It's meant to kind of just be like a comforting whisper, like a comforting hug after the end of like a long day or something like that. And that's really cool to me. Especially when it's kind of like the familial connection. Like, I know some people don't have the greatest relationship with their parents, but it does feel like the very respectful but caring and warming connection between two people. It's kind of portrayed to the music. BIBI and the piano very much locked in hand with that really soft, delicate nature. And knowing what BIBI's capable of doing in terms of like her intensity and stuff, oh, to hear the complete opposite of that is very cool to me. Right, this is the one that worries me a little bit. This is, well, Tomohisa Yamashita, or if you're doing it in the Japanese way with the last name first, Yamashita Tomohisa, Japanese singer, actor, partnering up with Taehyun of TXT. Did not know this was a thing that was happening, but this is for, I believe it's a Fuji drama called Blue Moment, song titled Perfect Storm. Now, because this is a Fuji song, very high possibility this gets cut out. So if it does, I'll see you at the end of the song. If it doesn't and we survive, great success. So I'll keep that, I'll have to keep an eye on that as we go through the upload process of it. But you know what, let's get into it, shall we? Here we go. I'm unfamiliar with Yamashita-san's work, so
in the storm, there is no calm. Everything just falls apart. What good is life without a cause? You're lightning all day, I never run away. 좋아할 때 그 말대모. What good is life without your love? Oh, there's just no way I could live without it. 가까이 붙어 뭐? You said it no no. I'll never let you go. See the sun on the horizon.
yeah, the song's got a lot of potential to have absolute gas for this chorus. We got gas. Taehyun's voice works really well with Yamashita-san's voice. In terms of like vocal range, Taehyun kind of picks up exactly where Yamashita-san's range ends, so that transition, it feels so seamless. Wide open. Yeah, and for someone who's got a very low voice and comfortable in that low range, Yamashita-san has a very nice high tone as well. But then you have Taehyun going the rest of the way up in that nice high range of his that I love so much. Nice flip. Taehyun getting that roughness in his voice and that high chest voice is so tasteful done. Every single time. It's one of my favorite things about his voice. Nice way of taking it down. Oh, is that where it ends? I'm impressed by that. I love how well they go together, because there's the occasional overlap, but in terms of vocal range, I mean, I mentioned it throughout the song, but just in case it got cut out, I'll explain it again. Their vocal ranges perfectly line up with each other, where whenever you transition into a higher phrase, Taehyun can naturally kind of just slot in. In terms of vocal color too, I love how similar they are in certain places. That's very nice. And the song itself, the chorus, has so much gas, so much gas behind it. That's very good. Very, very good. Surprising song for me, actually. Ooh, excuse me. But I don't know what it is about TXT doing the Japanese OSTs, but whenever I think of TXT OSTs, my brain immediately goes to Everlasting Shine. That's honestly one of the most well-made Japanese OSTs from a Korean group that I've heard, full stop. It's so good. And they just seem to, whoever it is, just naturally seems to fit on a Japanese track, and that's really cool to see. Even when they did the Japanese versions of 0x1 Love Song with, shoot, who'd they do that feature with? I've forgotten now. But, usually whenever a K-pop group makes a song first in Korean and then they'll remake it into Japanese, I don't necessarily flock to those. With TXT though, they're like the only exception that I can really think of off the top of my head. Like, okay, so they're gonna make a Japanese remake and they're gonna make it sound as good as the Korean original. And I think that's really hard to do. And when it comes to OSTs, they naturally just slot into a Japanese track as well, and that's very impressive to me. So, well done, Taehyun. Also, Yamashita-san, very cool voice. I like that. We're gonna keep flying through them. Next up, Mr. Junhyeon from TIOT. Have we had an OST from them? I don't think so, but they're new to the scene as well. They're, I forget if it was a pre-release or not, but TIOT was one of the last artists we checked out in my student apartment in England, or over in the UK last year. It was also one of the last videos I recorded using my desktop computer, because afterwards I packed it up for when I was moving house and just used my laptop. But anyways, Mr. Junhyeon of TIOT with the song Ruin Life for, I believe this is a Netflix drama, right? Hierarchy? I think this is the one that Chaemin, formerly the Mubank MC along with Unche, is on. I don't know if the show started yet or not, but well, we're not here for the drama, we're here for the music. So, Mr. Junhyeon, let's see what you got. Here we go.
참아내면 난이 지옥에서 벗어날 수 있을까
It's kind of mysterious.
흉터는 아무로 가도 만질 때마다 다르게 아파와
Ooh, hold on a second.
힘이 얼룩진 두 손은
Ooh, cool vocal stacking.
형체없게도 여전히 더 나은 삶에 목말라 Please wake me up and it's over
It is heavy. Okay.
Can you stay for a while 난 너를 통해 또 다른 나를 봐 I want
Oh, okay. I kind of like the twist in this. Because that synth is very much cyberpunk-esque in terms of the sound aesthetic, but they just got super heavy and retained that. Yeah, that's really cool how they managed to balance that. Because this sounds very, you know, futuristic, midnight-esque, right? Then you have like the guitar wails that make it sound a little bit mysterious. The digital harmonies here in the background gives it that futuristic vibe as well. Then that release in the chorus is so heavy and dark. But then it's offset with that really muffled. Oh, they're gonna just keep ramping that intensity up for the bridge. Okay, hold on. Let it cook, let it cook, let it cook. Cymbal roll into this.
I will say goodbye. 내 모든 걸 다 남겨두고 떠나. I won't ever hurt you again. I believe it's right. 더 늦기 전에 전부 멈추고 싶어.
I kind of like that at the end, the final line in that chorus, it doesn't go into the chord that I'm expecting it to. It doesn't go into the sustained 4. It goes into a completely different note, and that's nice. Because I think it adds to the darkerness of it. That is a song that is most certainly attached to a very dramatic and heavy scene in a drama. It just screams that sensation, doesn't it? Whoa. That, to my ears, is very nice indeed. It's one of those songs that just paints such a vividly clear mental image for me. And maybe that's just my overly creative brain kicking into gear, but sometimes you come across a drama OST where you know this is going to be associated with like a pivotal plot point. This is exactly giving me that vibe. This is going to be on a pivotal plot moment in the show. Something bad is about to happen, is happening, or has just happened. It's weirdly dramatic and it's weirdly heavy, but they do it, and the final execution is done using instruments that by themselves don't necessarily have that heavy quality to them. And that is what makes this song really interesting for me. It's the overall collective that provides that really dark, dramatic, and heavy sound. But on their own, it doesn't do that. like that that triplet moving like cyberpunk synth on its own would not give a dramatic feel to it. In fact, I'd be almost inclined to wait for the song to just run off into this really futuristic pop song. But then you have the string section that grows, and it's like, okay, hold on, we're gonna switch gears here. And then once the strings come in and the chorus comes, you know exactly what the pace of the song is. It's slow. It's really slow. And because of it, the heaviness comes into play. You bring the strings front and center in the instrumental, dramaticism. It's that evolution that is so cool to me. Oof, okay. And one last song for the road today, Miss Yeyoung from Geenius, who again, debuted, I believe, right at the turn of the year. They were like one of the first groups to have a release this calendar year. What was the song called? I think it was like Voyage, right? Very groovy, nice, easy song to listen to. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We didn't get around to it on the channel, of course, because I was away from the internet, so to speak. But Yeyoung has an OST titled 100 Days of Dreams for Missing Crown Prince, which of course is a show that we have touched on many a time here on OST Saturday. And well, considering this is their and Geenius's first OST in any capacity, that's always very exciting indeed. The first OST is always very fun indeed. So let's see what this one is all about.
매번 피는 꽃도 새로운 안개하듯이 다시금 피는 꽃도 끝내지었다가 또 피네 그가 지는 겨우
Okay, it is brighter than I thought it was gonna be.
흐드러지는 빛 깊어진 무릎 위 뛰어들래 난 지금
Historic drama, bringing in some traditional instruments, always a great touch.
무뎌진 마음이 녹아내린다면 그 밤에 악연은 더 불태워라 다 타버리게 서늘한 달이 뜨고 펼쳐지는 백일몽 보이지 않아도 기억에 남아 매번 피는 꽃도 새로운 안개하듯이 다시금 피는 꽃도
Are we back in the chorus already? Wow. Oh, we snapped back really quickly. This song flows really nicely. It just feels so natural. So is this now a post-chorus, or is this part of the verse now? I'm so amazed at how smooth this song is going. So much so that I've gotten lost in the sauce once and I don't know where I am now. Cool. Really cool bringing the electric guitar in alongside the traditional instrument. Switch the vocals up a little bit. It was very smooth and buttery, and now we're getting some power involved. And again, what a seamless transition into this next phrase of the song. Like, I've rarely come across an OST that just moves so smoothly from start to finish, as much as 100 Days of Dreams does. I'm genuinely so impressed by how well this song transitions into the next phrase of the song. Wow! That's caught me so off guard. Because 1 second the song started, I'm really picking up on the traditional instrumentation, all of a sudden the song's over. it just kind of went. That's really cool. But also I think it goes to show just how well the song has been put together, because it just sounds like one continuous song. It doesn't feel like individual blocks put together that create the overall song. So, like with a pop song, and mind you, I don't mean this in a bad light towards normal pop songs, but if you listen to a pop song, I'd say 95 out of 100 times you can figure out what part of the song you're in, because say, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, they're all going to be composed a little bit differently because they're meant to, right? Each individual phrase is meant to have a different emphasis. 100 Days of Dreams, I think, has that if I really pay attention to it, but everything just flows so seamlessly together in between the phrases that I kind of don't care about the fact that it is just one continuous song, because that one continuous song just flows so smoothly. And that's very rare. Wow. But also, Yeyoung's voice on this I think, is such a good fit too, because she has this really nice, really smooth, kind of soft-spoken type voice for a good majority of the song, but then she throws a little bit of power into her vocals, and that attitude completely changes. I mean, you saw me spot that when we were listening to it, but I think it was the bridge, right? It's either the bridge or the final chorus. Again, I kind of got lost in the sauce. I don't know where in the song we were at then, but you hear her voice switch into that higher gear and adds more power to it. That kind of really pretty smoothness is gone, and there's emphasis in her vocal delivery now. And I think that switch was so cool. Ooh. Again, a little bit of a shorter OST Saturday for this week, but you know what? Even if it was short, I think we got a very, very wide range of stuff that we covered over just only 4 songs. That's always one of the fun things about OST Saturdays, is you never know what you're gonna get, but whatever you're gonna get is gonna be very varied in sound, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to listen to. And that's why we do OST Saturdays here on the channel. It's why we have a second season of OST Saturdays going on the channel right now. And well, I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you did as well. But that is going to be it for this week's installment of OST Saturday. Of course, we have the March catch-up episode coming up later today, if it isn't out already. We've got Niziu, we've got Seungmin from Stray Kids, so we got a little JYP block, Shipsenchi, Mr. Kum Junhyeon of Shipsenchi, and then Sungkyu and Woohyun from Infinite, with a little OST inclusion. So, as my background decides to follow from the wind, thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be, checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.